Women love opportunistically, whereas men love idealistically. And right off the bat, let me say that this video will help a lot of you, male or female, to better navigate today's dating market and get better results. More dating opportunities with better candidates and with better and more predictable results. You guys that have a hard time dating right now will walk away with a holistic understanding of why you are failing with women and how to address the issue. And for you ladies that keep complaining about the lack of male suitors in the current dating pool, you will learn how to position yourself in the dating market to attract those better men that you're looking for. So let's get started. Women love opportunistically, men love idealistically. If that sentence bothers you, you're probably just starting to understand female nature. Most men assume love works the same both ways, and it does not. I encourage all of you to use your critical thinking skills to process this information about the modern sexual marketplace objectively. Very important. Meaning you should use these biological and statistical facts to your benefit regardless of how you feel about said fact. Facts are facts. Men love the idea of a perfect woman. Loving, loyal, feminine, but rarely do they find that woman. Does that mean they don't love their girlfriend or wife? Of course not. But simply put, men are 10 times more willing to settle for a woman that meets part of his criteria or preferences than a woman ever would a man that does not meet all of her criteria. You know, that long list, that laundry list that women have for their perfect man? You know what I'm talking about. This means that men will date or marry a woman that doesn't meet his preferences, but still has these very important traits. Is physically attractive, has high replication value, reproduction, can be led and taught. And before we get too deep into the subject, I want to remind you to please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave a comment below letting me know what else you want to hear from me. I really appreciate you guys, and I hope you're getting a lot of value from this. Let's keep going. Men love idealistically, and that's why it's very easy and common for them to look past a woman's blatant red flags and hope that she will change or adapt in the future during the relationship. But just so you know, they rarely do. Women have a hard time letting go of bad habits, especially when it comes to relationships. Now, a woman's love is completely different. Women love opportunistically. They'll choose the best suitor they can currently attract based on their own sexual marketplace value, meaning they will always choose the best option on the table, the man that can best satisfy their hypergamy. What is hypergamy? It's a woman's biological tendency to always date up in the dating market. For example, an average woman will somehow feel deserving of an above average man. It's female nature. And that's why the label opportunistic. It is also important to note that a woman's loyalty to a man is directly correlated to his ability to constantly satisfy her hypergamy. Otherwise, she will start to see other more suitable options on the market. Also, guys, remember that women will always reserve the right to replace you if you no longer satisfy her hypergamous nature. Remember that. Because the truth is, if you are improving, her attraction tends to rise. But if you're stagnant, her attraction will fade. Women need constant stimulation. Right, ladies? And if you are in a state of decline for a long enough period of time, she will look elsewhere. Trust me on that. I know from experience. All right, so now for some of you guys that are new to all of this, hypergamy is basically a woman's instinct to secure the best possible option available to her. Not just financially, but overall. She's looking for and optimizing for protection, provision, competence, presence, and future security. She isn't consciously running a spreadsheet in her head, but she is evaluating whether you are still her best option. And if you are not, unfortunately, the clock is ticking on that particular relationship. It is important to note that there is an unwritten bargaining rule. There is an unspoken contract in relationships between men and women that for some reason, the modern dating market is ignoring and therefore causing most of the problems between men and women. It's simple, natural, and it has been part of human nature for millennia. A man leads, protects, and provides. A woman follows, nurtures, and supports. That is how a family is built. But interestingly enough, when a woman fails her side of the bargain, most men stay in the relationship and give up their happiness for the sake of the family or the relationship. Whereas when a man fails his side of the bargain, most women will leave, if not immediately, eventually. Just look at the divorce data. Most divorces are initiated by women, about 70 to 80% according to the most recent research. But why? Why is this happening? Because women always think the grass is possibly greener on the other side. And that is not always true, especially as they age. But where are men getting confused? Men usually assume that love should be permanent and unconditional. They think that loyalty and attraction from a woman is fixed. But the female attraction is dynamic. It's based on emotion. And inevitably, it's dependent on your ability to satisfy her hypergamy. So why are so many guys struggling in the current dating market? Is because you have no leverage. You cannot negotiate genuine burning desire from a woman. You cannot convince a woman to have attraction long term. She must feel it. She must come to that conclusion organically. And therefore you, my friend, have work to do. First, you're gonna have to build yourself up, increasing your SMV over time. This will give you more leverage in the dating market. If you don't know what your SMV is and you want to see how you rank in the market, watch this video when you're done here. Second, you're gonna have to raise your standards and work diligently to uphold them while you're dating. Better women will yield better results. That's a fact. Third, you should always have options. Hear me out, okay? Hear me out. It is a widely known secret now that women respond favorably to men that are in demand. Hence why the top dudes get access to the most and best women. Lastly, guys, never chase tail. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't have to go into detail here, but just stop it. It really does not benefit you at all to chase tail. You're better off chasing your own improvement over time. And for the ladies out there that keep complaining about the dating market, I completely understand where you're coming from. I get it, but you should always self-assess, just like I would advise a man to do. You need to take some time to think about your goals, career, family, children, and seriously look at that timeline. Consider your values and then consider your actual intrinsic value in the marketplace. You need to be realistic and remember that men are judging you by your past. That's a fact. Now, if you want these better men, you can't be like the rest of the women out there. Just like men, you're gonna have to self-improve, like I said. But here is where most women get it wrong. I won't go into too much detail here because I know you ladies get easily offended by this. But most of you think that you need to work out, make more money, and set boundaries. But those are all masculine endeavors that inherently attract women. So why are so many women partaking in these activities? Are they confused? I honestly don't know, but I actually do have a hunch. I'm gonna leave it at that because I don't wanna get in trouble with the algorithm. So instead, I just wanna encourage women to primarily improve the attributes that are actually going to help attract the right kind of man, right? You're looking for a better man, you need to attract them. You guys keep complaining about men, but simultaneously are not doing anything to attract those better men. You need to improve. You also have to put in the work, just like the guys. But what are the better men looking for? Simply put, men look for purity. And I know most women don't want to hear this, but it's true. Here's the thing, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, you're gonna have to absorb this information objectively and then move accordingly. If you let your feelings get in the way, you're gonna be triggered and you're not gonna be able to digest the information properly. So what does that mean for you ladies? Realistically, not all women will meet the purity preferences of most men, but the least you can do is try to seem more pure and be willing to change some of the behaviors that come from being tainted from previous relationships and sexual experiences. So now, ladies, what you have to remember is that most guys are very naive. Yet, for some reason, you feel inclined to publicly reveal and expose a lot of the deepest and most intimate stories and details, which will eventually disqualify you from the same men that you yearn for. Don't put your business out there. Keep it private. So, men love idealistically, women love opportunistically. Can you really deny that at this point? I think you're better off understanding this reality for men and women and realizing that the market does not care about any of your excuses, or my excuses for that matter. It only rewards reality, biology, and your intrinsic value. But at the end of the day, it's up to all of us to put in the work, men and women. We all have work to do, and we owe it to each other to be the best version of ourselves. Remember, we attract who we are. So instead of blaming the market, always look within. Self-improvement is the key here. And on that note, please remember to subscribe to the channel and watch this video next to keep the momentum going. Peace.